Welcome to the Rebecca Adehill podcast. I want to start off by saying that I want my name to remind you to go and live your life big, to take risks, to go all in and write one hell of a story with the one life you know that you have. I'm a 7-figure business mentor, wife, and mother of 3, and I'm here to share my journey with you as I am constantly moving in the direction of more bigness, more impact, more wealth, more depth, and more life. My aim with this podcast is to activate and inspire you to go and live your life big in the fullest, most passionate way. I'm so glad that you are here. So let's dive right in. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Rebecca Adehill podcast. I hope you are having the most wonderful start to your week. I am going to dive straight into today's episode. As I am sitting down recording this, I just finished call number 1 for my 8-week business accelerator program called Move. And I'm telling you, this program, the women that are inside of this program are the most activating, inspiring women I have ever met. The call today was so activating. It was absolutely electric. It's so amazing what happens when you set the expectation of a container, when you set the expectation of what is going to take place inside of that group. The women lead themselves differently. They start to feel differently. They can start to feel their sense of belonging, their sense of ownership, the sense of that everything that they want is available to them. I cannot wait for the next 8 weeks that we are going to have together. As a part of this program, we have this incredible private community as well. And as a part of this, I have started something called the Prosperity Party. That, as you would know by now, I am really passionate about normalizing wealth and normalizing talking about money and normalizing the big visions that we have. Because I'm a firm believer, if we really want something and if we really want to tap into that bigger vision, we can't shy away from that. If we want to attract more money into our lives, we can't look away from it. We have to be able to normalize that big thing that we want, right? So the next 8 weeks are going to be absolutely incredible, and I cannot wait to witness the evolution and the expansion that is going to take place inside of this space. The conversation I want to have with you today is one of my biggest fears, and that is not being liked and for people to judge me. I really struggle with that. I really dislike when people don't like me. And I don't know if there's any one of you listening to this right now that can really relate to that. That we like to be liked. And I think that's pretty normal. Of course, there is no one that likes to be disliked. Like, that would really surprise me if someone found that amusing. But anyhow, that has been one of the biggest things that I've really been navigating as I've been growing my business, that I think the only part of me that's really been holding me back to an extent, and I'm not going to say so much anymore, but really what used to hold me back before I really accepted my path was me being really concerned whether people would agree with what I had to say, if people would like me and the path that I was taking. And I guess I was seeking, that external validation, and it was really important for me not to take a wrong step and to try to do the right thing by people and, not too much and not too little. I just wanted to be liked. It was really important for me. But then I realized that this is a major part that's actually been holding me back, because I was almost looking for this external validation for me to get in my power to go, "Oh, Rebecca, I really like that. You should do more of that." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, now I'll do more of that." And I've realized how much that put me out of my power when I allowed for other people to tell me whether they thought that I was good enough or not. And when people told me that I wasn't good enough, I would crumble. So I have done a lot of work over the past couple of years of really actually owning who I am and owning the things that I want for my life and for my business and for my family and all of those things. It's a true ownership of my path. And as my business has grown and I've had this incredible rapid growth over the past couple of years especially, one of my biggest worries was that people would judge me or say stuff such as, "Oh, it was easy for you. It was only a fluke. There is no substance to you. Maybe you are just successful because of your looks." You know, a lot of things like that would drop into my mind. And it wasn't, I rather have someone tell me that they think that I'm not good enough. But what was actually the worst for me is when people don't say anything at all, when they don't actually witness you at all. That was the biggest challenge for me. Then the other day, I had someone dropped into my DMs and said, "I need to tell you something, Rebecca. First of all, I have to let you know how much you have triggered me, how much I have judged you, how much I made up all of these excuses that your success was because of your looks, because of your young age, because of fluke, because of luck, because of your circumstances are different to mine. And I have judged so many things about you. And I have made you so wrong for the past year and a half. You have triggered me so much." But then there was something in me today that made me lean in. And I went into your profile and I saw that you had an upcoming program coming up. And I signed up to it. And I want to apologize, Rebecca. I feel so ashamed for saying this, but I want to apologize for judging you the way that I have, how I have projected all of my fears and limiting beliefs onto you and taken away the work that you have done. As I'm receiving this message, it was such a beautiful moment because I realized how far I had come. That I could look at that message with an open heart. It did not shake me whatsoever, even though that was my biggest nightmare. For someone to lean out and judge me without saying anything and saying X, Y, and Z and having certain beliefs about me that may or may not be true. That was my worst nightmare. And that's what I heard in my DMs, that's exactly what someone had been doing over the past couple of years. And it was so beautiful to witness not only how I was feeling in that moment, which was completely anchored and grounded. And I felt so much respect and love and compassion for this woman, because it takes courage to reach out to someone, to take responsibility for the judgment they have placed upon you for the past couple of years. I found that extremely brave to do that. The other part that I really witnessed in me was my leadership in that moment. my ability to see beyond the thing that was coming at me, to be able to witness a woman behind those words who so desperately wants something else and something more for her life. So for me to be able to see beyond that and feel into her energy and hold compassion for her and hold compassion and understanding for her feelings, and also to be able to validate them and acknowledge how beautiful this exchange between us truly is, and how proud I am for her to deciding to lean in. And I knew in that moment that I had mastered my biggest fear. That I know whether people like me or not, that has nothing to do with me. Whether people feel triggered by my success or not, that has nothing to do with me. Whether my path aligns for them or not, that has nothing to do with me. Whether people agree with my opinion or not, that has nothing to do with me. And I want you to feel into this for you. What does this mean for you? What are some of your biggest fears that are holding you back right now? How can you start to look at those, bring your attention and your awareness to them, and start to look at them with great curiosity? And the only way I mastered this, and this is why now nothing can stop me in my way right now, because I know who I am. I know where I'm going. I know the people that I'm here to serve, and I can't promise I'm for everybody, and that's okay. So I'm going to show up in a light that feels really good for me. And I'm not going to try to prove anyone to believe or think anything else but me. I'm not going to prove anyone else to think or believe anything else than what their opinion is. It's not my job to change their minds. It is their job to take responsibility. It is their job to be able to discover the mirror when they are feeling triggered. And it is the most freeing feeling to sit here today and truly, hand on heart, be able to say that I've mastered my biggest fear. Then another day went by and I had another DM dropped in that said, Rebecca, I stopped looking at your stuff because you were triggering me so much. I want what you have, but I can't see my way through whatever she was going through at the time. My life is the opposite to yours right now, and it's really hard for me to look at what you do. It's extremely triggering for me. So I've stopped looking at your stuff until something told me this morning to Google and search for your podcast. And now I have binged, listened to your podcast back to back. And I'm so fucking glad that I did. Thank you for doing the work that you are doing. Thank you for showing me what's available. That was another moment. And then I received another DM from a woman who said, I just want you to know how close I am to unfollow you because you trigger me so much. I don't want to look at your stuff. You are so triggering. I loved so hard on that girl. and she is now in my program, Move. When you can learn to understand that other people's opinions, the things that they are going through, the triggers that they feel, their opinions about you, when you understand that that has nothing to do with you and only to do with them, you set yourself free. And you will feel more comfortable and confident to truly be who you are, because it doesn't matter how hard you try, you are always going to disappoint someone. But there are also going to be people on the other receiving end who are so fucking proud of you, who feel so inspired by you and your evolution and your growth. And they can't get enough of you. Those are the people that I'm here for, but I'm also here for the people that are not ready yet, that are not ready to face their triggers, that are not ready to take responsibility. Their time will come. And maybe there will be people out there, most definitely there will be people out there that I will never be good enough for. And that's okay. And I am okay with that. As long as I can wake up loud and proud in the morning, and when my head hits the pillow at night, have I made myself proud? That is all that matters. And if all of us spent time focusing on us and stepping in to bigger versions of who we are, stepping into more expansion, stepping into a more confident woman or man. Imagine if everyone did that. This world will be a better place. But we tend to spend so much time criticizing other people. And if we do, it's just a mirror for us. People that are so set in their own path, they don't have time to criticize other people. People that can't feel triggered, they operate from a state of overflow. So next time you worry about what someone is going to think of you, it's often because either you have something they deeply desire, or they are going through some hardship themselves so they can't see the light. So I want to invite you to all of those people that you can think of right now. Can you hold love and compassion and understanding for them and still remain so anchored in who you are? Because at the end of the day, that is all that matters. Who you are and who you came here to be. So I want you to spend the next week becoming really mindful of stepping in to a bigger, bolder, more confident version of who you are. A more aligned, a more assertive person. Because everything that you want in your life and every goal that you set in your business, it starts with one thing: owning your path, owning what you want to be known for, owning who you are. If this episode resonated with you, or if you can think of someone who really needs to hear this right now, I would love if you can share this episode with them. My DMs are always open for you. I hope you have the most beautiful day, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world. Go and turn up the dial on you. Go and step in to the bigger, bolder version of who you came here to be. Sending you all so much love, and I will see you next week for another episode.